Welcome, everybody, to Detroit The Dark Reflection. We're going to pan our setting over next door to the recently conquered city of Windsor. In the night, one Mac 10, who's been on a mission from Archbishop Walters, is seeing that a next phase of his plan, he might require some backup. And he's thinking to himself, what would be the specialist that he could reach out to? He's going to leave a text message for a few of the Canaanites that he's crossed paths with. And for this evening, actually out of character, I'm not sure if Jim Jim has a cell phone, but to Mr. Christian Cobra's text message will arrive saying, this is Mac, any people in Windsor, payday, word up, and you see dollar signs.
And Christian just probably like sends a text message back, basically elaborate. With like maybe some sort of appropriate emoticon.
Mac is going to say possible location of books and gear. You see that he uses the word chantry, but your common sense would tell you that from what you know of Mac, he may or may not misunderstand what he's looking at.
Either way, Christian will probably
Jason, still there?
Looks like he is frozen.
Okay.
Oop.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
my fellow of African American persuasion might get in because Christian's an Afrikaner.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so do you reply to Mac or?
Yeah, he just sends that gift thing back to show his approval.
Okay. Mac will forward you an address, and it's just an address. He doesn't describe what the building or the place might be like, but he'll tell you to meet him there at an appointed time. And for Jim Jim, what's Jim Jim doing around this time of night?
Just now waking up. Jim Jim's hungry, looking for somebody to chew on.
Do you just want to make a quick survival roll?
Yeah, I can do that. Survival and wits.
Survival and stamina.
Survival and stamina?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that's not great. Shit.
No, that's kind of bad. I'm gonna say you tried to dump somebody, but they were a little bit well armed, a little more armed than you were expecting. I'm not gonna let you take any damage, but you need to get the fuck out of Dodge and somewhere to go to ground real quick.
That seems fair. Yeah, Jim Jim is not afraid of fleeing, probably towards any type of woods of any kind, which may or may not just be 4 trees, but that's enough for him.
All right. Well, you flee into this forest. There's gonna be someone that takes notice of you. At first, you probably are gonna be focused on them as you're trying to get away. But you see a woman step out from amongst the trees, and she'll just ask you, what the hell are you doing here?
I'm just hanging out here in the woods. What are you doing out here?
Well, this is my hunting grounds.
Your hunting grounds? Is it any good?
Oh yeah, but not for you.
It doesn't seem to be that great.
Right. Are you bored, friend?
Might be. I'm definitely on to getting bored.
I'm guessing you're somewhat hungry too.
I'm always hungry.
Hmm.
Maybe not in the same way you might be thinking, but I'm always hungry. Squirrels just don't fill you up like you used to.
Uh-huh.
Too much bone, too much fur.
Well, you know, I got something interesting for you, if you like.
I like interesting.
Well, I got this text message from a fellow brother, if you understand. Now, he's been having some issues across the water. You ever been to Windsor?
I ain't really much been north of the Mason-Dixon line, so probably not, but maybe. You point me in the right direction, I can take it from there.
This person's going to lay out an address for you, basically the route to take. It won't be too hard for you to get there. Well, hopefully you have a car.
I'll just walk.
That's going to take all night. Look, you can take my car, all right? Actually, I kind of need Mac to work on it. When you meet this guy, Mac,
I know Mac. He's good people.
Oh, excellent. Well, yes, Mac needs a little bit of help. And unfortunately, since I have some other duties here that I need to look out for with the Archbishop, you take my ride, take it to Windsor, go see Mac, help him out, and tell Mac that I need him to work on this car for me.
All right, I'll drop off the car with Mac. You point me in the right direction, and I'll get about her.
I appreciate it. When that's done, if you make it back, I'll let you hunt around here if you need.
There ain't no if, darling. I ain't much to look at, but I'm fairly scrappy.
So toss you the keys and walk with you to a blue pickup truck. Gas is full, and yeah, it's yours.
It probably takes Jim 3 or 4 minutes to get it started. He has no drive because he's from horse and buggy time. So he'll probably hopefully if it's automatic. If it's not automatic, then he will never leave.
Let's see what kind of truck it is.
He will stall that thing out.
Yeah, it's a manual drive.
He will flood the shit out of that thing. He might eventually get it going, but whoever gave him this car, they probably have the feeling that Mac is going to spend a lot of time trying to fix the damage that poor Jim does to the clutch.
Yeah, the woman will give you just a basic crash course on how to handle a stick shift, but you'll be able to drive. And
crash course is a good term for it.
You'll be able to make it to Windsor.
So, all right, that sounds great.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to pan our scene just about an hour or two later in the night as both our Canaanites make their way into Windsor. I'm thinking with Christian having common sense, he finds a more appropriate mode of transportation. He'll arrive there first. Mr. Crovers, when you arrive to the location, you notice that you're coming up on what looks to be a very small, inconspicuous kind of church.
Right. Christian's going to is there anything that particularly stands out about this church that's maybe out of the ordinary upon cursory glance?
The only thing that's out of the ordinary is that you see the lights are on, but you don't really hear anything going on inside. Then there's no people on the outside of the steps. You don't really see any traffic or anything, but you see that it's open.
At this time of night. Oh fuck. And Christian's probably going to, find a quiet spot and give Mac 10 a call.
And as your phone rings, you'll eventually hear it pick up. Yeah. What's up? Yo, who's this?
My bro, it's Christian here.
Oh, what up, Chris? What up, baby? Yo, what's good? What's good? You got the address? You outside?
Yeah, I think I might have gotten the wrong place though. What exactly is this place supposed to look like on the outside?
It looks like a church. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if they're one of those Episcopalians or Lutherans. They definitely ain't Catholic, but I don't keep up with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, anyway, I'm outside now. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That this place is obviously at this time of night still open. The lights are on, but nobody appears to be home.
Yeah. That's us, man. That's us. Just come on in. Come on in. We're downstairs in the rec room.
What? You're actually in the church?
Yeah, man. Of course, I ain't gonna have you meeting me outside in the cold.
Fair enough. I will see you in a couple of minutes then, my bro.
Yeah. So, Mac will hang up, and it's up to Christian if he wants to enter inside.
Yeah. One thing in retrospect, did Mac 10 sound like he was? What's the best way to describe it? Tense or?
Oh no, he sounded as his usual self.
Alright.
Didn't sound any different.
Alright, in that case, Christian's going to find an appropriate place to park close by. Obviously in light, because, even in Windsor, you don't want people nicking your shit. He'll lock the door behind, him, apply the alarm, whatever. And he'll go to the church and check to see if the door's locked first before he'll knock and open it up.
Yeah. Well, the entrance doors to the church are open, but we'll say you going inside downstairs towards the rec room. You'll knock on the door, and what you'll see next is a woman. She's dressed like a nun. She's dressed like a Catholic nun, and with your common sense, that's going to throw you off because Mac already just said this doesn't seem to be a Catholic church. But she opens the door for you, and she'll look you up and down and say, yes, can I help you?
And Christian, knowing the kind of the way that religious people kind of get bad vibes when he's around, you'll kind of like slightly rear his head back, give them a slightly suspicious look due to their understated reaction. I'm here to find a certain friend of mine, biggish lad. How do you say in this country? Black. Goes by the name of Mac 10.
You'll see her eyes wide and her jaw drop, and it's like she does a double take, and you'll start hearing her whisper something in Spanish like, "Oh Dios mío, el diablo." He's in the back, and she starts turning away from you.
Thank you, my lady. And he'll step in, and he'll head towards the direction which the nice lady had pointed out to him. Mac, you here, my bro?
When you enter the room, you'll see it. You'll see like a group circle going on with about 8 people, and you'll see Mac is kind of lounging in the background, but he'll hear you call out from him, and he'll just kind of like raise his hand and wave you over, like yeah, come here.
And Christian will step on over, looking at this group circle thing. Does it look like anything that him with his occult knowledge or any like, academic knowledge would kind of like figure? Yeah, that's that.
Oh no, no, no. This appears more like an NA meeting or an AA meeting.
All right.
Nothing really occult going on.
All right. Christian will like go over to the Mac and still looking at the group. Didn't know you had charitable things going on here, Margaret.
Well, the thing is, this is just kind of like a cover. After most of us had wiped out the Camarilla presence in the city, yo, there's a lot of fucking ghouls running around fucking jonesing.
Ah, I see. Is that what this whole thing was about?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, these ghouls, that's not really your concern, not unless you want it to be. However, some of these dudes, right? You see those two dudes over there? He'll point to two Caucasian-looking gentlemen, but you'll recognize that there's something off about them. Like they're. All right, you know what? If you want to make a perception, occult, or investigation roll, I'll allow you to.
This is going to be perception occult, you say? This is going to be interesting. One success.
With one success, these guys appear to you to be, how do I put this? Though they look very European, they seem to, with their tattoos and their modern, their style of dress, to be a little bit more on the shamantic side, if you catch my drift.
Hmm. And Christian will give these two a look over. Yeah, go on.
Well, yeah, what I heard is, those dudes used to work for, some, serpent guy, not like the serpents that are with us, but some other type of serpents, like those Setites.
Are you? What, did they tell you this, or did someone else tell you?
Nah. They told me this themselves, you know what I'm saying? But now, I personally thought maybe I should have just killed them, but the Archbishop thinks that maybe we should have, pump them from some more information. Interrogation ain't really my style. Now, that's why I'm here asking you for some of your expertise.
And Christian kind of looks over towards him, towards Mac. All right. You do know that I know more about the magic stuff, not all this horrible finger pulling stuff. That's what you get a Shamisi for.
Well, now I'm not saying that you gotta, hurt the guys. I'm just saying, you know what? It seems to me that you would be able more to relate to them than I would. I'm just about shooting motherfucker.
All right, I'll give it my best shot, but I tell you now, I'm not the most sociable of people, but I could probably speak with them on a intellectual, mind-to-mind type deal if they are cooperative in that respect. How? Actually, hang on. I may have a solution to this, but tell me something, Mabru. Have you invited anyone else here, just in case it does not work?
Well, I sent out a message to everyone that has my number. So far, you're the only one that showed up. And also got a message from the Archbishop's Paladin. There's someone else coming through. Jim. I'm not sure if you know him. But, yeah, see, he's kind of more the guy that if we have to get physical, that we can do it. But I'm just saying, I'd rather not have to clean up a fucking mess tonight.
All right, that sounds reasonable enough. So, are we waiting for everyone here to finish with their meeting before we get started and have a conversation with these two lovely lads, or are we just going to wait until this Jim fella shows up?
Well, I would suggest we just wait till the next guy shows up. These dudes here, everyone, at some point used to be a ghoul. And right now, they're just trying to help each other deal with the fucking Jones, and they know what I am and who I am. But you can keep it to yourself if you want to play it off.
Well, I do believe that the silence of the blood, when he kind of like looks over towards the group again, is essential in this regard. I do think, though, if we are waiting for the other gentleman to show up, that we let him know what exactly our game plan is. This.
Aye, no doubt, no doubt. You'll see Mac walk over to that nun, and he'll tell her that basically there's someone else that he's expecting. Just go outside and wait for him. And we'll pan over right now to Jim Jim. Sorry, Carl, we didn't mean to keep you waiting so long.
Oh, we're good. Jim Jim is probably heard before he is seen driving horribly in that truck, probably hitting curbs, the clutch just burning up as he drives. He will probably park nearish the church. Incorrectly on a curb, or just like taking up 4 parking spaces. This is not really his scene, and he will get out of the truck, slam the door, and there's always fucking churches in this place. Every place I've been here in this goddamn city, it's a goddamn church. Oh, God damn it. He'll make his way up towards it, muttering under his breath.
Mm-hmm. When you make your way towards the church, you'll see that a nun is there, kind of standing outside. So we'll look to you since you're making kind of a scene. Does Jim Jim have any flaws that readily stand out?
He has scarred, which is a Zamisi flaw, where his face and any visible skin is just covered in big, thick, nasty scars that just don't seem to be able to heal. And he's on a path, so that also makes him kind of stand out.
All right. Well, when the nun regards you, she'll kind of shudder at your appearance. Are you here to see anyone, Senor?
I don't see how it's any of your goddamn business. There's got to be some sort of kid toucher in there that I need to talk to.
She'll just nod and she'll be like, well, follow me. I think I know who you need to see.
Excellent. Hey, make sure no one steals my truck. I gotta get that to Mac.
And you see her, like, you hear and see her sigh, like, oh, God. And, she'll lead you downstairs into the room where you'll see Mac just about the same time as Christian was ending his conversation with them. You'll see that he was talking to this person. And, Mac will recognize you. Oh, yo, Jim, come here.
Hey, by the way, I got a truck out front for you that someone says you need to get it and you're supposed to fix it up or something. I don't know, something brought out in the woods.
Oh yeah, check this out. That's like the Archbishop's Paladin, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to piss her off. I pointed a shotgun at her once, and luckily, nothing happened. But
that might have been useful information to know before I almost tried to take her feeding grounds.
Yeah, man, dude, you need to get a cell phone. We could rob someone tonight if you need it that bad.
A cell phone?
Alright, well, I don't know if you got like a messenger pigeon or whatever. I'll write you letters. I don't know.
I can get a messenger pigeon. You want a messenger pigeon? And he will coo! I'm gonna beckon him. Because I'm an idiot.
Yeah, Mac will say, like, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Yo, tell me something, Jim. Now, I know you like, beating people up, you know what I'm saying, and like hurting dudes and something, and you hear him like he's starting to whisper it into your ear. But like, yo, check this out. Can you keep someone alive like under the threat of death?
Keep him alive?
Yeah, can you sustain the dying part, where they're not quite dead, but where they're not quite alive?
Yeah, I can probably do something like that.
Alright, bet. Yo, homie, check it out. What we're doing here tonight, a bunch of these dudes are ghouls, you know what I'm saying? They lost a lot of their dormitors, as they said. So these dudes are like Jones, and they're going to be looking for anybody to nurse them. So maybe I'm thinking we just get through and the chaff of who we need. We'll keep the rest.
That sounds good. What exactly is the plan here? Because I'm just kind of showed up.
And Christian kind of like turns his head to one side. I don't believe we've been introduced to each other. And yes, he does have a very thick Afrikaans accent.
I'm Jim. My name's Jim. People call me Jim.
Alright then, Jim. I'm Christian Cobras. Pleasure to meet you.
Hey, it's nice to meet you, Christian.
Christian kind of like does a quick look over to the two guys just to check that they're still there and they're not listening in or anything else, or despite everything that Jim's done. Before he kind of like looks back to the two group. Right. The way I see it, these two gentlemen here, they know what the score is. They know that there is a way out. They, whether or not well, depending on how well educated they are in the particulars of Cainite society and the politics involved, considering their former domitors, I do believe that I can provide a sympathetic ear to their plight and to provide them with that way out. However, we also need to show a bit of stick as well as carrot in this regards. I do believe, given how they know what mech is, we don't need to expose ourselves too much. Expose the silence of the blood, as it were, by revealing what we are. We can just simply allow Mac to fill in the blanks for them. In this regards, to put it in simple terms, I'm playing the good cop. You, and he points to Jim, but
I can stand here and look intimidating, and I'll give him the eyeball, and that generally shuts him up.
No, that's perfectly fine, my bro. I just need you to, if they do prove to be uncooperative, I do believe that I can step back, but I think the little tricks that I have up my sleeve will be more than adequate to resolve this situation.
Yeah, that doesn't work. I'll just tear them apart.
Yeah, there is that as well. Anyway, it's up to you, Mac. This is your show. How do you want us to proceed with it? Do we want to approach the gentleman now, or wait until the meeting, as it were, is over? Assuming that everyone here, only those two gentlemen are ghouls.
Well, check this out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I already told most of these guys that I could help them get across the lines, you know what I'm saying, somewhere to safety. You see Mac just wink at you. However, that probably won't be the actual case. I mean, I kind of don't feel like babysitting. I just want to weed out who's useful and who's not. Those two guys, I think, might be the most useful. But I say maybe we give a listen to what everyone else has to say. You know, if they can't provide us with nothing, fuck them.
That sounds reasonable. Besides, if they do turn out to be, if we do find to have ourselves a few diamonds in the rough, then I do believe the expression for this is first come, first serve.
Mm-hmm. All right. So Mac is gonna say, all right, yo, check this out, guys. I'm gonna do a little bit of the talking. All right. I'm gonna introduce you guys as if you're like the the made men. You know what I'm saying? The guys that really have a plan.
Mutual friends is what you're saying.
Yeah, like that, like mutual friends.
I can do that.
So Mac will depart from you two guys for a second. You're gonna see him go into the middle of the circle, and he's gonna say, "All right, yo, listen up. I got some friends of mine. You know, we kind of run in the same circle. Now, these dudes here, they're willing to listen out, but it ain't gonna be easy to get you across. You ain't gonna be able to bring everything with you. So I would say, think of the most valuable things you have to offer in exchange for this protection we're willing to provide you, if we provide it for you." And you'll kind of sense that there's a nervous mutter going around the circle. Those two gentlemen Mac pointed out to you, they kind of look cool and lean back. You can already tell like they're just gonna listen. But you'll hear one redheaded woman. She looks rather young. She's gonna approach you, Mr. Christian, and ask you, well, look, sir, please, I don't have a lot to offer. My dormitor, he just basically used me as eye candy, but I'm a dancer and I know a lot about the streets, and if there's anything I can do for you, please, I've heard what happens when people stop taking the blood. I just don't want to go through that kind of pain.
I understand. Believe it or not, someone in your position obviously is privy to more information than, well, privy to a lot of information. So even if I don't find that I have any use for someone as you, most assuredly you will find someone in Detroit that will have use for someone like that. Information is key in our society, and someone like you with an ear to the ground is a definite source, and that most definitely would appeal to quite a few of our brothers and sisters. Do you not agree, my bro? He kind of looks over towards Jim.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And Christian will start like looking over towards some of the others.
You'll see a much older man. He looks kind of like a salesman. That's kind of the vibe gives off because he has a briefcase. You notice that he's also wearing his trench coat, not like a leather, more like a canvas one. But yeah, he'll he'll ask you from his seat. Yeah, well, what about my family? You know, I got kids. What am I supposed to do about them?
That would be, well, once we get you across to the other side, it will be your priority in that regard. Unless, of course, there are certain circumstances, in which case, depending on whomever picks you up, you would probably have to speak with them about that. Right now, however, this is your priority. You are the highest priority. Or should I say, you should consider yourself to be the highest priority at the moment. Once you've got your foot in the door, then you can start thinking about your family.
In the animal kingdom, during times of famine, the young are generally eaten.
The old man will like really look at you like, what the fuck did he just say? Like, okay.
And Christian will probably just, you know, give a. Actually, let me see if is it Nip. Fuck yeah. Roll with this. One success. He gives a pretty obviously quite fake laugh. Jim is just he's just messing with you.
Right.
That was highly inappropriate, Jim, but very true, but we're not animals here. Anyway.
The old man's gonna ask you, well, all right, I mean, basically that's what I want to know. What do I have to do to get my foot in the door?
Well, that depends. The young lady here has told us that she can provide information what exactly can you provide us?
Well, shit, I have information, but it's kind of defunct now. I mean,
Well,
with
well, in that case, what did you do before all this unpleasantness happened?
look, I was just a numbers guy, you know? I mean, we're here in Windsor. There's not really a big underbelly of crime that happens, but there's a little bit of that white collar crime that goes on.
Oh,
Yeah, I ran some books for my dormitory, keep his front going. They're pretty much gone, but there's still some liquid assets that could be moved and whatnot. You know, I'm just worried that someone he knows that knew him that might still be alive may notice it gone. You know, like I only knew a very little bit outside and beyond of what my dormitory told me.
hmm okay. Well, in that case, that does give you a potential foot in the door. You just have to find a K-Knight who is interested in that. Your obvious talent with numbers, running numbers, believe it or not, some of us actually find that useful. I would not, and I assure each and every one of you here, do not sell what use your dormitories had for you short. Each and every one of you was brought into this world for a reason. Do not think that whatever reason that may be is somehow defunct just because you're being recruited from another faction, as it were.
You're gonna see a um a Asian gentleman. He's gonna stand up. He looks really scrawny, almost kind of like unhealthy, but also a little unhinged. You'll notice it in his voice as he talks to you. Oh yeah, yeah, really? Well, let me ask you something. What about what I've heard? Okay, I mean, vampires just don't fucking up and die for no reason. Okay, so I want to know, why did this war happen, and how do I know that we're not being used as pawns?
Shut the fuck up.
Christian raises his hand towards Jim Jim. That's inappropriate. It's a good question, however. Let me put it this way, my bro. Just like in real life, there are winners and there are losers. We're the winners here. You don't need to know the exact details. Let's just say that your dormitories, not necessarily me, but the people who I and my friends represent, had a disagreement. That disagreement ended up with you being either thrown to the wolves, as it were, or you are simply abandoned. Now, I do understand that this is a little difficult to take on for some of you, but unfortunately, it does happen, after all. I forget who said this, but the first casualty of war is innocence. Even though no one here is quite exactly a saint now, are they?
Jason, do you have any empathy or leadership?
No, but we do have subterfuge and intimidation, but that's not really appropriate in this regards.
Why don't you roll your charisma and subterfuge then?
Okay. Actually, yeah, fuck it, I'll just roll that. 2 successes.
All right. You'll notice that this guy, you've calmed him down. Everything you've said seems reassuring, and basically you've told him it's not like he really has a fucking choice anyway. His people are gone. You guys are here. These are the options, and he'll sit his ass back down.
He basically just said, you know, he's not exact. Well, he's not. He's kind of bending the truth, as it were.
Right.
Not sugarcoating it. Is basically what you say.
Right, right. Um, now you'll notice that the two gentlemen in those markings, one of them is going to stand up and he's going to say, "Well, all right. Let me ask you one question. Some of us, all right, need a fix a little bit more than the others. What I want to know is, when do we at least get a taste?"
And Christian will actually turn to fully face this particular gentleman. Well, that depends entirely on the depends entirely on what you have to offer. Let me put it this way. In truth, the situation that we find ourselves in with regards to who gets what is first come, first serve, but it's more a case of, is our blood worth, well, are you worth our blood is what we have to say. I mean, the average, well, most schools I've met are simple dog's bodies, you know, having someone to go and do whatever job that they need, that a Cainite needs to do in the daylight hours. Really nothing special. Not exactly high on most people's priorities. However, some ghouls are a lot more valuable than others, as I'm sure each and every Cainite in this room would agree with me.
Yeah.
So it also begs the question, Labru, what do you think you can offer us, which gives you the right to skip the queue?
You'll see the first gentleman look at his friend. They'll kind of whisper in each other's ear real quick, and he'll say to you, "Well, kind of like the old man over there, we did lose our dormitor, but we know that he still has some connections around, and the way our master operated, whatever was his will probably get swept up by his sires or his cousins. And, well, we're not sure we're going to get the same treatment by them that we did with him. So, if we could offer you, let's say, his pad or anything of interest out of his workshop, would that be enough?"
Well, that all depends. What kind of workshop was he running?
They both look at each other, and they look at you, and they say, "Well, if you don't mind, this is a kind of a more private deal we'd like to strike."
Mm-hmm. Well, suppose in that regard, and he kind of looks over towards Mac. Do you mind if I take this one for a small conversation?
Mac will nod, be like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, do your thing, do your thing," and he'll step in and try to, like, relieve your position. Him, in a way, kind of replacing you as the good cop.
Mm-hmm. And Christian will take the ghoul to one side. Okay, I'm listening.
All right, listen, fella. What my dormitory was into, I mean, he was into little of the petty stuff. Drugs, prostitution. That girl over there, yeah, she used to work around his circles, even though she didn't belong to him. But what he's really mainly known for is trafficking in supernatural wares. And that's kind of the thing that is for certain no one's just going to leave laying around, especially those in the family.
Interesting. Off the top of your head, what kind of things did he traffic in, and what exactly do you remember seeing last time you visited this pen of his?
Well, he was moving a lot of different types of blood around. Like, not just, his blood in a bottle, although sometimes he did that when he wanted to fuck with someone, but like real vintage type stuff, like blood from someone of a particular clan, of a particular age, from a particular region. If you're familiar with eugenics, it kind of seems like that, but I'm not really sure what he was doing with it other than finding buyers and finding sellers.
Mm-hmm. Go on.
Well, so aside from that, he does kind of have a stockpile of this stuff. There was supposed to be a big sell going down before you guys rolled into town. But as well, I'm sorry, what'd you say?
He just said interesting.
But as well, there are some of the relics, some of the tools that he uses for his. Well, I'm not really sure what you guys call it. His witchcraft, sorcery.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now you've got my interest. That doesn't give you a guarantee, however, but it does get my interest. I do think that you have earned your blood for the time being. I will point out, however, none of our kind like being lied to. I'm more reasonable when it comes to my brothers and sisters. That gentleman over there, he kind of like gestures with his head toward Jim Jim. He's not quite, I would say, the most stable person I've ever met in my entire life. Mac is a good person in and of himself, though he does have that side of him. I don't believe you or anyone here has been privy to that, and I pray that you never draw that kind of ire upon yourself. I'll give you a little bit of the blood of mine right now, and after that you're going to lead the three of us to this pad, and depending on what we find there, you're going to help recover this stuff for us. And if everything goes well, perhaps, just perhaps, you will find a very steady supply of vitae in me, my brother.
The guy nods. All right, tonight. Yeah, I'd like to just get it over with tonight.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Then Christian will bring the ghoul back to the group, as it were.
And as you re-enter the group, you'll hear Mac saying, like, yo, so check this out, you know what I'm saying? If you roll with us, you're gonna be good. But you gotta come correct. We ain't taking no fucking bullshit. This ain't no fucking babysitting session going on. Yo, you see my man Jim Jim over here? Alright? You step out of line one fucking time. I'm gonna feed you to him.
And Christian, playing the good cop in this regard, kind of like puts his hand up, just like, stop. He goes like, Mac, that's not really all that necessary. Everyone here knows what the score is. They know what they have to offer to us. And you'll be happy to know that we are feeling exceptionally reasonable and exceptionally generous tonight. It may not be exactly right now, but everyone, I do believe, thus far, has given us reasons to keep them around. Now, could I have a brief word with you and Jim Jim?
Yeah, sure. Yo, why don't you folks go make yourself a coffee or something, or whatever the fuck it is you do, and we'll step away with you.
Once they've gotten to a quiet place, Christian will bring everyone around. We have a result. That gentleman over there knows where his former Domitor's pad is. He's also offered to give us access to everything in that ped. Most of it is, should I say, well, it's exactly what you said it would be. It's definitely something that would be useful to the Sword of Cain, and definitely something that I could use in my research. I have given him the orders of it. I'm going to feed him a little bit of my blood. In the return, he's going to take us there, and he's going to help get everything there. He has pointed out, however, that there is a likelihood that maybe some of his former Domitor's, should I say, associates or sires, cousins, whatever, they may be there. So we have to play this smart. But once, if we do get all this stuff, I do believe, well, everything is going to be on the up and up from here. And, well, given everything that you've seen so far, well, this is a first come, first serve. There's only so many ghouls that we can keep. If you, well, this is your show, as I said before. Once we've gotten all this done, you can take whichever ones that you want, and I'll take my pick. Jim, if you want any, you can have them. Unless there is any other Cainites in this city that could do with another ghoul or two.
Well, you know, you're right on point there, Christian. Because on the one hand, you know, I'm trying to work small. I don't want to have a bunch of people knowing too much shit about me. I still got my fucking faces on some wanted posters. So you can understand, I really don't need any more ghouls myself. You, Jim, you're welcome to them if you need them for spare parts or whatever the fuck. But, you know, that's why I called you over here, Christian. You're a smart dude. You kind of know what we need in a way that goes beyond shooting shit like I do.
Well, someone has to support all you brave souls. Someone has to make sure that you're all fed, make sure that you have all the proper equipment. You can't let the Camarilla, those pawns, have all the advantages, can you?
Yo, word, right. Alright, yo, check this out. I know it's like getting late in the night, but here's what I'm gonna do. We're gonna use that truck. I'm gonna just go fix it up real quick. I left something for you boys over there. He'll point to another room. I left something for you boys, just a little something from protection, you know, because you never know when shit will start popping off. Last time we were here, you know, kind of remembered that.
Yeah, I remember. Lucky for you, though, I've got a few things of my own, but I'm never one to look a gift horse in the mouth, so I appreciate the effort you have gone to. I'll let you get on with what you've got to do, and
Just to make a quick crash roll. 4, 6, 9. Working on the car. Repair the damage. Oh, okay, yeah. Mac does a good job on repairing the damage Jim incurred on it.
point.
What you guys will
pushing
find...
the guilt upon him. Pushing the guilt. If you have conscience, that is.
What you guys will find in the room that's downstairs, it kind of looks like it was an office, like kind of piled up with a lot of shelves, a lot of those like metal drawer shelves that you kind of see in an office. There's 2 crates on a desk, and you also hear the how do I put this? The muffled pleas of help coming from like underneath the desk.
There's 2 you say there's 2 crates on the desk.
Yeah, there's 2 crates, 2 small crates, and inside you'll see it looks like some patchwork body armor that Mac put together.
Wow, this is different.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's kind of makeshift. It looks like he took some like scraps of metal and welded it together in folds, and then like sewed it into a hunting vest of sorts.
A little crude, but it'll do.
I'm going to say that they're going to give you 2 dice of soaking for any purposes, even aggravated, for the moment. And yeah, you'll also find 2 hatchets in there, one for each of you.
Oh. Fire axe or just regular axe?
It's the kind with the metal shaft, so I don't know if that makes it a different category. I'm gonna say a fire one. Yeah, fire one.
Okay, so that'd be strength +3.
Jim is going to investigate the noise. That seems way more fun than bits of metal.
What you'll find underneath the desk is the pastor of this lovely church.
It's Father Kidfucker. Hey, what you doing down there just crying away? Ain't you got no faith in nothing?
Mr. Jim, would you please ken it with the blasphemy? The irony is, the pastor's probably going to be more afraid of Christian than he is of Jim.
Yeah, he's like crawling out of underneath the desk and backing away from the wall. He's like, as he sees all the evil enshrouding you, the monstrosity that you are.
You said kill it. You say?
No, that's not exactly what I said. In fact, you know what? Do what you want. I'm just going to go put this thing on. And I do believe that the pastor here has had enough of me and my Simon Magus-ness.
Oh yeah. I'm working on that, dude. Yo, Jim. Since you're here, can I ask you to do me a small favor?
Yeah. What do you need?
Yo, like, can you like fuck this guy up in a way that nobody else can tell that he got fucked up? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, put like some kind of like strange tattoo or yank his nipple all out of place. I wanted him to know basically he will never be human again unless he does what I say. You feel me?
Yeah, I think I can do that. Jim's gonna grab his shirt and pull it open, and then just grab a couple handfuls of like his stomach, and just pull out the flesh and tissue.
Okay. You're using vicissitude, I guess, right?
Oh yeah,
Why don't you roll that?
that sounds good. Yeah, I did okay. I had 3 successes.
Okay, basically, you've made his intestines visible.
The big key to this is Jim needs I don't know 10-15 pounds of meat to eat to keep the angry parasites in his stomach at bay. So I was hoping to try to kill 2 birds with 1 stone in that regard, and just make him like so. Walking around with a shirt on, he looks fine, but he knows.
Yeah, he knows.
He knows.
He knows now, and clearly during the entire process, screaming blue bloody murder. But fuck.
Oh yeah.
Oh, well.
And Jim's gonna eat the part that he pulls out. It's all stuck in his beard, and yeah, it's gross.
All right. So Mac will come downstairs, and no, I'm sorry, Mac was already downstairs. Yeah, he'll tell you guys to saddle up. He's going to suggest we bring one of these Sedite ghouls with us, leave the other one behind.
Yes, and Christian will obviously give him the blood points of Vitae, as he promised.
All right.
So,
and just I'll mention the character. Mac will also feed his nun, appointed Vitae, kind of give her like a light slap on the cheek. Now you be a good girl and you just stay here, all right? Just watch these people. If anything happens, just get the fuck out of Dodge. I'll find you. And you could just see the saddest look on her face.
Yeah.
Well, not to be outdone, the one who said that she was mostly just eye candy, as they're leaving, Jim is going to point at her, and, hey, you don't go nowhere, little sweetie. I'm going to come back for you. I got some plans for you.
And Christian will probably be standing behind Jim at that moment. He'll probably look towards her, look towards Jim. Repeat. First come, first serve, my bro.
Okay, we're gonna expedite the scene. We're gonna scan over. Everyone gets into the truck. Our foursome crew, and the ghoul is gonna direct us down to what looks like a little suburban area of Windsor. The only thing that kind of stands out is like a small shopping mall and a really, really big strip club. Kind of. It's like I know it's a little bit out of place, but this is like a little bit of the layout of what's going on in this part of town. And the ghoul's gonna explain to us. All right, the actual temple, as they call it, is downstairs below in the quote-unquote VIP room. Excuse me, guys, for 1 second.
Sure. And now this gives me all the opportunity to get the cheap laugh of this little gif. I can actually find it. Oh yes, here we go. This is a Jew, this is a Jew, this is a Jew. This is a Jew, this is a Jew, this is a Jew. This is a Jew, this is a Jew, this is a Jew, this is a Jew, this is a Jew.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, guys. Background
No,
noise.
you just missed all of this is a Jew nonsense. That's what Christian's going to be like if he ever gets the discipline. Just singing as he's like flesh vomiting.
All right, so Mac's gonna say, all right, so what's gonna happen? Like, we just gonna be able to walk in there? The ghoul's gonna say, well, yeah, they know me here. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are just regular people. They don't really know that the boss is missing. You know. And in the middle of him saying that, you're gonna see his attention kind of zero in on a truck that's there. And that's fucking weird. Right over there, there's a moving truck, and you're gonna notice that there's like a crew of a couple of gentlemen who look like, you know, they're professional movers. They have a uniform jumpsuit, but they're kind of just looking like they're having a smoke break. Yo, Christian, what do you think that's about? You think they might be there for what's downstairs?
Most likely, my bro, though we won't know unless well, they're probably already halfway through the job if, well, I don't know anyone who has a smoke break as soon as they get to the job or as soon as they finished it, so it's likely that they're still partway through. I do believe in this regard. We have a variety of options. We can be smart and, well, I don't think anyone... Actually, you can actually hide in plain sight, can't you?
Oh, hell yeah, man, I know how to sneak up on a motherfucker.
Okay, if you think you can sneak up there, find out what they have inside the back of it, if you can, and report back to us, that would probably give us an idea of where to go from there. I mean, if they've already got everything in there, more or less, you know, that'll save us half the job.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Alright, I'm gonna leave the keys with you. Wait, no, Jim, you can't drive. Christian, can you drive?
Badly.
Alright, fuck it, I'm just gonna leave the keys here. I don't want the jingling in my pocket. And Mac will get out. Mac's gonna fall into Obfuscate 2. For you guys, you know, he's not vanishing from the mind's eye. Your attention is focused on him, So you're gonna see Mac kind of like slowly walking, creeping up against the wall, making his approach to these guys, kind of ducking down lower and lower as he gets closer. The back door was left. The back door to the van was left open, and you kind of see Mac peering inside. I'm just gonna make a quick wit stealth roll just to make sure they don't catch him. Yep, they don't sense him at that point. And he kind of lingers there for a second, and then he'll come back to you guys. He'll speak to you through the window of the car. Yo, dude, it looks like they got a motherfucking casket in there. Alright, they also got like a few boxes and shit. But they were just saying, like, they gotta hurry up and get all this shit out of here. You know what I mean? Like, dude was complaining that it might take him like 2 or 3 more trips. So, what I think is that whatever they got might be a lot of the most important stuff in the van already, or they're leaving everything that's the biggest for later. That's just my thought.
Could go either way. But sarcophagus, that's interesting. Many, many boxes. Very interesting. The only question now is, how do we get control of that truck? And how do we not get the attention of those gentlemen who are obviously still in the employ?
The ghoul's gonna say, well, listen, it's really private down there. I mean, we could just wait for them to come in. They know my face, but if you guys need to rough them up or something, probably be best down in the club.
Interesting. What does common sense tell me?
Common sense is going to tell you that is a very viable option. But at the same time, if from what the school's already said that someone else might be coming by, these guys might be under their own marching orders. So it might be a brawl. You can expect a fight if you have to do it down in the club.
Well, it's like we have a variety of options on all hands. I mean, it seemed like the club would be the best way to go about it, but it would start a fight. Mr. Ghoulish Ghoul here could keep things quiet in the house, I would hope. But as far as getting that truck to where we need it to go, lifting everything else in there.
Mac's gonna say, well, yo, check this out. If you two go down in the club, right, I'll wait outside until they leave. And yo, I'll just steal a fucking van. I know how to jack a van.
Sound like a good idea. I do believe that Mr. Ghoulish Ghoul here could you'll get us into the club, alright, won't you?
I'm sorry, Jason, can you speak a little louder? I couldn't quite hear that.
Oh, sorry, he asked the ghoul, you can get us into the club, alright, can't you?
The ghoul says, yeah, definitely.
Okay. Well, Jim, best be on your best behaviour.
No promises, but I'll do my best.
All right. Mac's gonna wait inside the truck for you guys, and he's going to just let you guys know that if you don't see him when he comes out, that means he sped off with the van. The ghoul will kind of look you guys over and just say, "Don't worry, I can get you through the metal detectors, but try to conceal the stuff you're wearing." And
That's great.
say what?
Oh, that's great. He just says to himself. Mr. Jim Jim,
Yep.
I'm presuming you have some ability to, well, I presume, given how what I saw, that you have some ability to conceal metal objects within your body.
Yeah, I can just kind of tuck something away in her if you need to. I don't really use metal stuff.
Right, could you perhaps then hide the hatchet, just in case?
Yeah, I can put it away somewhere,
Right, so
and he'll just
give him the hatchet.
kind of tuck it up into his stomach, in through his gut, and just kind of hold it there. The handle probably still sticks out of the bottom underneath his shirt. He just kind of tucks it into his jeans.
I was referring to inside of your body, my bro, but
I just put it all in. Oh, yeah, that's in there. I wanted the handle out so I can get it easy. Yeah. Oh, that's my ribs. Hold on. Yeah. Oh, yeah. All right.
alright,
You,
thank
you
you.
let me know if you need it. It might take a little bit to get it out, but it's in there.
Okay, I'm pretty sure we can resolve we can improvise. I do believe that this jacket thing here is going to be a bit of a problem. Common sense tells me.
All right, so Ghoul's gonna lead you guys to the door. There's a velvet rope and a bodyguard standing outside. You'll hear that the bodyguard, I'm sorry, not the bodyguard, the bouncer, to be correct. The bouncer recognizes the Ghoul, and he says, "Oh, hey, I haven't seen you in a while. Friends you bringing in with you?" We're like, yeah. Just came to grab some stuff from downstairs. Like, all right, yeah, sure, go on inside. And as you go inside, you'll hear the music like really, really pumping. You can feel the vibrations in the floors. It's not jam packed, but it is a lively atmosphere. If you had to make a guess, you could notice right away at least 15 people as customers, aside from the bartenders and the dancers, are in the club. Everything's painted in a hue of kind of like red and dark purple, along some glittering curtains. But you move past all that crap, past the bathrooms and down a staircase that has a sign that says, employees only. And does anybody want to make any kind of a perception check at this point?
Yeah, well, perception alertness. Nope, nothing. But either way, Christian's going to spend 1 blood for blood potency. He'll spend a willpower point as well. They needed to. That's 6 successes. So
All right.
I'm going to show. I don't think we'll need this for more than 1 hour. So I'll say we'll go with this, that's 6 successes. We'll lower his generation by. Hang on, let me look at this. 1 step in generation for each success. He's generation 10, so 9, 8, 7, 6. Okay, so for the next hour, Christian is 5th generation, pretty much.
Nice.
Well, he has the blood pool of a blood pool and generation of a fifth one, but yeah.
Jim, you want to make any perception checks?
No.
All right. All right. So you guys go downstairs, and you'll see 2 corridors. One that leads to the kitchen, and the other that leads off to what kind of looks like a locker room, kind of like for basic purposes, a locker room. You'll see about like 2 guys in the kitchen, but you'll see all the girls, all the dancers in the locker room. When I say all, I mean maybe like 3 girls there. They're just chatting to themselves. one of them will see the ghoul and wave to him. You can tell that they're familiar with each other, but he's leading you through them as he makes certain pleasantries with them. And as you continue on, there will be past a black curtain, a small antechamber, and the ghoul will knock on the door. He'll wait for a minute. All right, I guess there's no one else inside. And he'll open up the door, and when you go inside, all right, the entire atmosphere changes. You can smell certain dankness from that kind of from how deep you are. There's like a lack of motion of air, so there's a certain almost a smell of mold that builds up with the moisture in there. The place looks like it's been walled with brick. I don't mean walled off, but like the supporting walls have been made with brick. And inside, as you take the staircase down, you'll see what opens up into. You get the idea of why it was referred to as a temple. Immediately towards the center of the room, you'll see an altar, and it doesn't look like there's no pews, but you can tell that this kind of black carpet that has these white markings on it are the place where adherents are meant for like prayer. I don't know. Does any of your characters have? I know you have a cult. Do you have a cult, Jim?
A little bit.
Does anybody want to make an intelligence cult roll?
No, may as well.
Sure.
As good as I was hoping. So yeah, 2 success.
I got 1.
Okay. Christian, you being Sabat and a thaumaturgist, you understand right away the different focal points of energies, summoning circles, and just what looks to be like where the audience or adherents would be worshiping towards a priest. For you, Jim, everything is obviously very religious. It goes a little bit over your head, but you can tell these are like some holy rollers, or at least the place describes to you as that.
Well, this is quite interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I never expected I'd ever get to see one of these temples up front. There's probably some inkling in the back of his head of Bishop Artashir just growling at the idea of one of these serpents. Or at least some aspect of Bishop Artashir that was imprinted on Christian.
The ghoul's gonna lay out things for you. He's gonna say, well, alright, behind the altar, there's some, well, the master called them relics. We're not really sure what they are, but they were chalices and the type of beads and dresses that he would perform rituals with. And his library is down in the back over there.
Okay. Lead the way.
Mm-hmm. All right. He'll take you into the back room, and it's only because you pointed it out did you notice it. I mean, it honestly looks, once you get up to it, it looks like it was almost like a false wall. How do I say this? There was another corridor, but until like you actually reach the space, would you not have really noticed it? The way it's blended in the architecture. So yeah, he'll take you through that. And when you come into, it looks like a very kind of relaxed study room. Doesn't really look like maybe what you might have expected, but you'll see that there are 2 shelves filled up with books, and there's a kind of black marble desk on the opposite wall. you'll see that there's also a ledger on top of that desk, and you notice that there's some drawers there too.
Christian's going to like just look through the library just briefly. He's not going to like take like every book out and like read through them, but he's just basically going to look at some of the titles and make a mental note of quite important ones as he makes his way over to the marble table and takes a look at that ledger.
Strangely enough, Jim will do the same thing with the books.
Mm-hmm. Mostly what you see in that library are they look like books that you can buy at a store. A lot of them are like mythological books. The subjects that they range, are like Afro-Caribbean, Native American shamanicism, and also your Egyptian mythologies. But you will notice that one or two books don't have like a title on them. They look very, very old and almost like hand-bound type of books.
Interesting. What was the ledger?
On the ledger, you'll I'm sorry. What'd you say, Jason? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. On the ledger, you'll see a series of names and numbers. They look like dollar amounts. You don't get any. You don't see any addresses, but you'll see opposite the dollar amounts. You'll see the names, and these are another list of names. And this whole list is very much like just first names. Some of them almost look kind of made up to you.
I think Christian's going to pocket this ledger, and he's going to search through the drawers.
In the drawer, what you'll find is a. How good is your technology?
2 dots in technology.
And your science?
2 dots as well.
All right. Why don't you roll an intelligence, tech, or science?
Okay. Oh, those bloody ones. I'm assuming analytical comes into play with this.
Okay. What you find is something that looks kind of like a very slender case, but it looks almost like it's like very high tech, like more than just modern. I don't want to say space age. I'm gonna say like a high end technical case. Right away, you'll notice that in the center of this case, there's just what appears to be an open, visible chamber for something. You could tell common sense would dictate that wherever it holds, it's empty.
That's interesting. I think we'll take this as well, just to be probably have a look at it at the university, perhaps. And aside from like the library, is there anything else in here?
Inside the other compartments of the desk, you'll find some substances there. They may look like drugs to you right away. You can't tell unless you want to test them on someone or something. But with your occult knowledge, you definitely know that these are obviously like ritual type of substances.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Is that all aside from the library?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay. At that point, Christian is probably going to take another look through that library. He's going to probably like take some of the books which are probably going to be the most useful in this regards, because I think with his own occult library and his own occult knowledge, as well as analytical, you could probably pick out the books which are just useless fluff, and the ones which are probably quite useful.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You're gonna get altogether. I'm gonna say, the time allowed, you're gonna get like 3 books. So from what you decide from rubbish, you get 3 books. Someone make me, well, both of you, if you have a perception alertness.
One success.
Jim.
Ooh, 3 successes.
All right. Both of you hear it, but Jim, you'll get the jump on it, and you hear it to a greater degree. You hear voices coming from outside of the library. It sounds like the guys who were in the front. Upstairs, outside, by the van. You'll hear one of them complaining, "Ah, fucking Christ, if I gotta keep moving this shit, I am gonna be done for the night."
Their movers is back.
I heard. Right. So, I do believe that we need to get the jump on these lads if we are to get all this stuff out as quickly as possible.
The ghoul's gonna ask you, do you want me to try to stall them, or do you want to just, like what, like knock them over the fucking head?
Pretty much.
Knock them over the head, or...
I like that idea.
I don't know, my bro surprised me. Either way, we cannot have these lads disrupting our little venture. So I do believe that they would take these things. Christian will actually put all of his loot thing into one little corner for the time being.
Alright, well, you can hear still that these guys are working in the main room. They're kind of setting things up to be taken away, putting covers and things on there. So, the next move really is yours.
Actually, in second thoughts, did we see anything particularly of interest when we were first going in?
Oh, I mean, yes, the whole place is dressed up with what looks to be like ornaments. The kind of drapery that would fill a house of worship. I mean, there's plenty of things that you can pull off the walls. Just whatever just whatever you want to target, I'll then describe to you.
Actually, on second thought, what does common sense tell me in this situation?
In regards to what? With the guys, or
would it be a all right idea just to let this ghoul do his job of distracting these guys as we took all our loot and made our way off, or are we going to have to fight our way out?
Common sense would tell you that trying to do anything sneaky would really be hard, even if you could sneak by them and get away. Other than successfully sneaking past these 3 guys, yeah, you're going to be looking for a fight.
Say again, they're going to be looking for a fight.
Well, sorry, let me rephrase this. Common sense would tell you, you could let the ghoul do his job, but if you're going to just try to sneak past them, only with that failing might things look weird.
Mm-hmm. Okay. In that regards, I do believe that I think we should probably risk this. I think we could probably get away with just taking this loot and just walking on out. I mean, the ghoul did say that the guys up front that we were just getting stuff. So there's no reason to not, you know, not break that masquerade, as it were. Besides, we're in a club. There's bound to be cameras everywhere.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea, I reckon. My blood gets going, and I kind of have a tendency to it gets real messy real quick.
Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that if they do try and start something, we should.
Oh, yeah, I'll twist their skull.
Of course. Okay.
All right, the ghoul's gonna nod and just say, well, all right, guys, just follow me, and I'm trying to do the talking.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna spend a blood to buff my strength by 1, just in case.
I'm gonna spend. I'm gonna spend 3 blood to boost his dex to 5.
All right, so you following the ghoul. The movers, they'll acknowledge the guy. I'm sorry, Christian. What were the stuff you took? You said that you took the books and the case, right?
The books, the ledger, and the slender case thing. The books, well, the ledger is going to be put inside of his pocket because, you know, that's quite notable.
Right.
If he can fit the slender case in his pocket, in his jacket pocket, he'll do that as well.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. That case is about the size, a little bit larger than a pack of cigarettes. That's easily to conceal.
Okay. And he'll carry the books in front of him.
Mm-hmm. And you, Jim, you're not taking anything?
If there are any books, any of the old hand-bound books that Christian didn't take, Jim will take those.
I'll toss you one. Yeah. Okay. But okay. The ghoul is gonna approach the guys, and he's gonna try to make light, small talk. Like, yeah, I know. I hate to pack up the old place and get it out of here, you know. But one of them, they're gonna see you carrying a book, and he's gonna ask the ghoul, hey, I think some of those might have been on the list. I don't want to lose my job, but no, don't worry about it. We've got the clearance with the boss. So he doesn't want to have to go rifling through these books. He kind of needs to get them now. Just gonna roll a fate die real quick. Neutral. All right, yeah, the guy just shrugs. He's like, all right, but listen, if I lose my job, all right, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna kick your fucking ass. All right. Wasn't on the list, as he says. Ghoul just back down and be like, oh, all right, no problem. You can tell him that you sent me. And yeah, you guys will be able to just walk right out.
Okay.
Well, that was easy.
Yeah, and Christian will probably like sit in the car and with the books on his lap. Well, I'm almost seeing a pattern here. This is the second time I walked into a potentially dangerous situation and come out without anyone so much as losing bladder control.
Oh, that sounds incredibly boring.
Yeah, but on the other hand, we have some quality reading material here, and actually, hang on a second, I'll actually look over to just to check to see if Mac 10 has stolen the vehicle.
Oh yeah, Mac is long gone, and so is that van. And common sense will dictate to you that at some point those guys are going to come outside, and when their van's gone.
Right, so in that case, Christian will just like tap the ghoul on his shoulder. My bro, if you could drive us back to the church, I would thoroughly appreciate it. Sharpish as well.
Yeah, of course. and your phone's gonna go off. You're gonna see a couple of text messages. First one will be like, "You downstairs? You got it? I got the van. Yo, I'm heading back to the church."
Looks like he got away. Back to the church.
So we'll pan our scene one more time back over to the church, and out front you'll see the van. You'll see Mac is just hanging around it, and yeah, he's waiting for you guys to show up. And I suppose when the ghoul rolls in, everyone's back together. So yo, homie, you got what you need? You got what you need?
And Christian will have like the 3 books in his hand, and he'll take out a ledger and the slender case. Yeah, I got something. I will probably be needing all of this thing delivered to... Well, I think my friend here is going to... well, actually, as a matter of fact, do you have any place that we can store this truck? Because, you know, they are obvious. As soon as those gentlemen outside of that club are going to notice it is missing, they're going to report it, so it needs to be kept someplace where it can, you know, not be spotted. Or get the other things out of it at a later date.
Jim's gonna point and laugh at the ghoul, and they're gonna kick their shit out of you.
No, they're not, my bro. Because if they so much as touch a finger on my friend here, I'm gonna pull their blood right out of their nose.
Mac is gonna tell you, yeah, you know what? We can keep some of this stuff in the basement, and I can just get rid of the van. But like, if one of you boys could bring a van from Detroit, then we could just load it up and bring it back there. That'd work.
I'd like to, well, we'll cross that road when we come to it, as a matter of fact. For the time being, I think we should get the more lighter stuff down to the basement.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, look, we got 3 Canaanites working together. We can get everything inside the church. That's easy.
And I will need a little bit of a drink before we're done. And also, I think we can safely say that more or less all of these ghouls are going to have a nester at some point. If not you, myself, or Jim, then one of the other Canaanites, definitely. Most definitely.
Mm-hmm. All right, so everything is going to get packed in. Mac is just going to ask you, is going to ask the both of you, like, so what do you guys want to do with these ghouls? Do you want to give some of them blood now, or just those 2 guys who helped us out? Like, you know, you want to make the rest of them earn it?
Well, I need a drink first before I can start making decisions.
Oh, yeah. Yo, bitch. Yeah, you. Dancer bitch. Come here. And, she'll come over. It's like, yo, check this out. My homie's hungry. I'm pretty sure you had to do this for your master before. And she'll just, she'll nod. Yeah, no problem. I'd be honored if you, fed for me, she said.
And Christian will only take 3 blood points from her, but he'll give 1 back. You know, in the form of a little bit of vitae, because, you know, she's obviously someone. Well, if they had a mutual thing going on between the ghoul that helped them and this lady, then perhaps, yeah, at least we can keep someone happy.
Mm-hmm.
And besides, I need an information slot.
Mm-hmm. All right. Jim, you gonna do anything?
No, Jim will wait. Anything that's left over will just become spare parts for him.
Okay, so, moving everything out of the van, this is what you're gonna see. Indeed, that is a casket. And amongst all the other items that are in the boxes, you'll find some ceremonial sacrificial knives. You even find some caged snakes, boas, anacondas, quite a number of them.
I think I found what I want.
By all means, I have no use for these things.
Mhm.
Never did like
You
snakes.
I'm sorry, what?
No, Christian just said, never did like snakes.
You're also going to find some. How do I put this? You're gonna find some more books, but these are kind of like the ledgers that you pocketed. Though there aren't really that many numbers on them, they look like a lot of different addresses, contact names. Though it doesn't readily appear what relationship they have to anyone else or the person who ever wrote them.
Interesting.
You know what? Let's see. Do roll your intelligence academics,
Okie dokes.
and that you too, Jim, if you want, if you have academics.
5 successes.
I think I'm good.
Okay. Oh wow! With 6 successes,
Jesus.
you do notice on the pages that there are markings, and these are code. You don't know exactly what the code means, but your best guess is that these look like debts, the kind of debts that go beyond money that each person owes. But you just don't know what the nature of the debt is specifically.
Interesting. We're gonna look into this another night, I think.
All right. So Mac's gonna ask you guys, basically, are you gonna stay here in Windsor, or are you gonna go back to Detroit?
I do believe it would be best if I went back to Detroit with at least some of these things.
I think I might stick around here for a little bit. This is a little bit more my style.
If you could do me the favour, however, for the time being, of looking after these 2 new ghouls of mine, as well as all the rest of this stuff. I will be back to get them the following night, however, along with all the other stuff that I need.
Yeah. No doubt. If you want, we can definitely, rough them up. Like put them like through some boot camp if you want.
No. They've more than shown their worth, I think, and I definitely could find some use in their particular talents.
Alright, it's up to you.
Okay. You can tell them I will see them tomorrow night, and I will personally bring them across into Detroit, and we will start to get ourselves set up from there, I think.
Oh, by the way, Jim, yo, can you... Nah, you know what? If you can get in contact with that dude we saw the other night, the one I asked you to blood, see if you can bring his ass over here.
Yeah, I think I can probably track him down.
Yeah, send like a dog or a messenger pigeon or something, whatever.
Yeah, I can make that happen.
Alright, cool. Alright, Christian. So I'm sorry, out of character, you wanted him to just watch the stuff or help you load stuff up for you to take the trip back?
For the things like the books, probably the ledgers. Yeah, that's just some of the stuff that he'll take. Everything else, the heavier stuff, he'll save for another night, and just to look after those 2 ghouls for the time being. The following night, he'll probably get the heavier stuff and take the ghouls across into Detroit with him.
Okay. Yeah, and if I fail to mention, a lot of the little like paraphernalia you find, to you it looks like the type of thing someone would use that summons spirits. What kind of spirits? You don't know, but you can tell it's like that.
Mm.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. We will bring the scene to a close, and hopefully we can explore a little bit more what's going on, the mysteries, and what the fuck was in that casket.
Yes.
We'll see you later.
Yes, and Christian will also go, Simon Magus, bitch, as he walks past the nun.